Hello, everyone. My name is Jose Guillermo Diaz. They call me JG. I'm the director, co-founder of Miami Ad School Punta Cana. And today we have the pleasure, I have the pleasure to have with us Rogelio Rodriguez, or as we call him, Rod. He's an instructor at Miami Ad School. He has been with us since we started. And more than that, he's been a friend for many, many years. I've learned a lot from him. And hopefully today we can learn a lot from him. You know, you guys can learn a lot about agency growth. So Rogelio, hello, how are you?
Good. How are you, JG? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great. So let's start with who is Rogelio?
All right. Good question. Well, I'm an agency owner, a multi-entrepreneur, multi-company entrepreneur. I've had a series of adventures, everything from e-commerce, on eBay, on my own websites, all the way through to financial industry as well. I had a debt settlement agency at one point, and a marketing agency. Actually, this is a third iteration of a marketing agency.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's right. So you mentioned now that you're an agency owner, you're the CEO of RIZEN in Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
So how do you spend your day?
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the day I'm leading a team that is producing results for our clients. We are consistently looking for growth and opportunities. So my job mostly revolves around sales and growing the agency. So I focus on the marketing and sales aspect of the agency, but as well as the motivation side, right? Making sure that the team is producing results and they're motivated to get the vision accomplished.
So you talk about growth, and I know that one of the struggles that agency owners have, like you, is when you're getting into the inbound marketing space, it's identifying a niche that can set them apart. Inbound is a great methodology, but and I know there are a lot of like inbound agencies. So any tips or advice that you can give our audience?
Yeah, I think don't fight it. I think a lot of people or a lot of agency owners think that if they say no to certain business that they're going to fail, right? Or they lose an opportunity. But the fact is that if you say no, you're going to say yes to the right opportunities, right? That's why it's important to pick that niche right from the beginning. And try it. Like, just pick a niche and go for it. Try to pick something that you've worked with in the past, like a specific niche or a vertical. So just for example, in the beginning, we started going after like tech companies, specifically like companies that were MSPs. We wrote a bunch of content. We put all our efforts into that, and it naturally we generated leads. I think at one point, like, we realized that was not the right fit for us in terms of the structure that or the type of business that we want to work with. So we changed it. We changed it to lawyers, right? And did the same thing again, generated leads because we focused really hard for 90 days on creating content, right? To attract lawyers. And now we're focused on home services, and we're generating leads for home services now. So every time that we focus on a niche, we achieve results and reach out. We reach that audience fairly quickly, but it's only because we're focused, right? Imagine if we had tried to do it all three niches at the same time. That would have been very difficult for us to.
That's very smart, because sometimes agency owners pick a niche and they're very stubborn about that niche. Mm-hmm. But you guys have you have understood the market, you have understood what you're good at, and you have gone from tech companies to lawyers to now home services. But like you said, I like your tip on being focused. You have to like really like know and generate the content for that niche to grow. And so that's great. That's a great tip. Another conversation that comes up a lot when talking to agency owners and talent search individuals, it's about talent.
Mhm.
So how do you attract talent, and how do you keep them after they're hired? Have you had any experience on this issue, or if you do, like, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, always. I think it's always a challenge to find the right talent. So we're constantly searching, right? We have a careers page on our website. We are active at posting whenever we do have job openings on various medias. But for us, it starts with the culture, right? We developed a culture early on, and more so than just like, let's say, core values, we develop behaviors that we want, and we explain those behaviors thoroughly to our staff and our team, and we constantly communicate what those behaviors, what those expectations are. And that has kept us, for the most part. I mean, everybody that we brought on the team has continued to stay on with us since the beginning, so we haven't lost anybody. And that also provides like an understanding and a mutual agreement of what is expected from each other, right? Both from the leadership standpoint and from an employee standpoint. So, but it's constant. You have to work at it, right? Sometimes, if you're not meeting in the culture, you're not meeting in the same way. Like you have to call each other out and be honest with each other. So that's part of the behavior, right? Having that integrity and calling each other out.
You mentioned culture, and I know that before the pandemic, we in the agency business, we very much focus on culture, but on a person to person space, in that, like, in person relationship. Have you found difficult to maintain the culture on a virtual space, or is it the same? What do you think about that?
Yeah, we've adapted. We use a lot of technology, obviously, in our agency, and we stay in constant communication. And the tools that we use have helped us a lot. I mean, we meet on Zoom all the time. We have quick conversations. Slack has a new feature that's called a little meetings feature, where you just turn on a little audio and quickly get into the same room and you just start talking. So the technology we use has helped us stay close together, and we also plan. We plan together. So like a lot of the agency activities, so from the weekly meetings to the quarterly planning, the yearly planning, all gets done as a team. So we try to keep everybody apprised of what's happening. And then every month we also do these state of the company meetings. So 30 minutes, the whole team meets and we go through, hey, what's going on? How do we do last month? Are we on pace to hit our goals? Are we not? What do we need to do to fix it? Really just to emphasize, keep the culture, but also like maintain that lines of communication constantly open. Because I think you could easily just like disconnect and not talk to each other with the way that things are. But we keep pretty steady communication, whether it be via email, via our social media channels too. One of the things that's helped a lot is recently is like we're celebrating our wins, right? A lot more. So we're sharing with each other. Like I get a lot of feedback from the team, from other people, right? And the team doesn't necessarily hear it immediately, but I'm quick to share it. We created a channel on Slack that says RIZEN wins, and I get feedback from our social media, right? Andrea, she's running our social media on a day-to-day basis, and somebody sent me a text. They're like, hey, like all the content's amazing. She looks like she's having a ton of fun. Great job, but she didn't get that text. So I made sure that to copy that into the channel so that we can celebrate her win as well.
Right. That's great tip. now with this, whole virtual environment, like you said, we have to be very intentional in what we do to keep the culture alive. Before, it was like, I would say easier because you had the environment, you had certain things in an agency space that trigger that culture, those moments, either colors on the office or a big like saying on the wall or the way the space is like distributed. But now with virtual, you have to come up with those things that you mentioned to to keep that culture philosophy going.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you're in sales. I know you love sales.
Yeah.
So tell us, how do you attract big clients? Or better, because sometimes you attract small clients.
Yeah.
How do you turn those small clients into big ones? Any advice?
Sure. I think just having candid conversations with the client about their goals. For us, it's important that they have strong goals, aggressive goals, so that we can fit in and help. Right. That's our expertise. After growing several other types of businesses, I know that really any client that comes to us with an aggressive goal, we can put a plan together to achieve it. And I mean, the way that we attract clients is just it's constant and consistent working at it, right? Like everything from prospecting all the way through, creating ads as well for ourselves. It's really like applying what we do for our clients for ourselves. Sometimes we tend to forget as agency owners, right, that we are a business and we have to do the same thing that we're doing for our business, right? One of my mentors was like, "Oh yeah, most agencies are like the cobbler's kids with no shoes," right? Like, yeah, you forget about yourself. You forget to do the work for yourself. So it's keeping that consistency throughout your own business, and keep on prospecting, keep on meeting new people, and keep iterating too, right? Like what worked 3 years ago is not working today, right? Calls are becoming less and less effective. Although I do still call people, and I think that it shocks people in today's time that I randomly call somebody that I don't know and start a conversation. But we're leveraging LinkedIn, we're leveraging Facebook, we're leveraging every conversation medium that we can to start those conversations and build relationships. I think in the end, like I look at it as, hey, like I'm just making a new friend, right? Whether they tell me no or not, really, it doesn't matter. Like I'll get something positive out of it, or be able to provide them some kind of help, and then they may lead me to another connection, right? Like I'll give you an example. I was networking on LinkedIn recently. It was a referral from somebody in my previous networking group, and they happened to be a consultant, and I had not met one of these consultants in this area. So I ended up giving him a referral. Now he's given me like 3 referrals back, right? But we've never done business together. All I've done was just help him connect to somebody else that needed his help. So yeah, I mean, just consistently doing those things.
And sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned networking group, and I know you for many years, and we have belonged to networking groups together, and how important networking is. So, and sometimes people don't see workshops like the ones that we do here as networking opportunities, when in reality they are networking opportunities, because you end up like meeting other people that have the same struggles as you, that have the same wins as you, that the likes, and your own structure becomes a great resource when it comes to like new business.
Yep.
So talking about that, I know you're going to be leading our first inbound agency growth bootcamp.
Yep.
And can you tell us, there are 2 questions that every time we put something together out there, they come to me with two questions. Who is this bootcamp for, and what are you going to be teaching?
Sure. The boot camp is for agencies, right? Agency owners, agency business developers, even marketing people at agencies that want to learn what from our experience in growing several agencies, right? And learning really like everything that you need, right? Because the what we're going to cover covers everything from discovering your niche and learning about your audience, creating your content plan, creating a prospecting plan so that you can like reach that audience as well. And also how to apply the principles of inbound to your agency and what technology to use as well. We're going to have several guest speakers, everything from HubSpot speakers to also Sprout Social, like all the tools that we use. We're going to bring in someone special that has experience in using those tools, but also business experts, right? That can help you with your finances, that can help you really like lay the foundation for growth. After the course, you'll have a solid understanding of what are the business tactics that are working right now to grow an agency, specifically an inbound agency who's focused on attracting people to them.
And for this bootcamp, we're going to do something different, special, that we hope that we do it for other bootcamps. And it's coming from that networking mentality. Is that after the bootcamp, participants will enjoy 1 hour per month of networking with Rod and the other students that participated, and Rod and myself were going to bring guests to the conversation. So there's an ongoing conversation after the bootcamp. Sometimes, you know, we get into these classes and we have a beginning and the end very clear. You know, it starts certain day, finish that day, and then we go back to our day-to-day, and then we don't know sometimes how to apply what we learn, or, you know, we have questions that come up after the bootcamp. So we have developed these like 7 months, 1 hour per month get together, like a networking club. Like, you know, let's start, let's meet, let's talk about what's happening and any new learnings that we have like got, you know, and during the process of the 7 months. So I'm very excited about that. So Rod, before we finish, anything else that you want to add?
No, I mean, I'm excited to share my knowledge and provide you the tools that we're using to grow the agency. So I look forward to meeting everybody.
Great. So thank you very much, Rod, for your time. Sorry, for your time, and we're looking forward to have you, you know, once again leading a group of instructors and guest speakers and students into this world of agency growth. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
And see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.